Hi, I'm Harry Jevons. I'm the good-looking guy on the left. I have cerebral palsy. This means that I cannot walk or talk and I cannot move my arms very much. I use a communication device to communicate and write. The device allows the mouse cursor to follow my eyes. The other guys are Dave, Peter and Jeff. Dave and Peter are integration aides and Jeff is my media teacher. We are discussing the itinerary of a VCE school trip to New York City. I kept the meeting focused on the important issues. About 15 students went on the trip, but it was more complex and expensive for me, because of the support that I need. Thankfully several community organizations helped to raise the extra $10,000 necessary and I was able to go. While in New York we attached several cameras to my wheelchair and I started making a documentary about travel for people with disabilities. I hope you enjoy it. Here it is. Getting on a plane is very hard for people with disabilities. They have no choice but to sit in what I call the chair of destiny, because standard wheelchairs are too wide to fit down the aisle. This is okay for people who can sit independently, but I need a lot of straps and restraints, which the chair of destiny doesn't have. We had to make do with a few Velcro straps, which made me feel quite insecure.
So we're right down the back?
Yep. You're ready for me to start taking restraints off now? Alright.
While getting on board was difficult, the Qantas staff were excellent and very helpful.
Let's lift his bum up and get the board underneath.
Yep.
Peter and Dave helped me through this process several times during the flight, so that I could go to the toilet. Aircraft toilets are not really wheelchair accessible, so we had to improvise, but that's a whole other story. Jeff organized an accessible bus to meet us at JFK Airport and take us to our hotel. The other students got straight on the bus. I waited for over 20 minutes, in the cold, but I couldn't get on. Either the lift was not working or the driver was not trained to use it. Unfortunately I could not travel with the rest of the students. I ended up waiting for a taxi with my aides. When we got to the hotel we were really tired. But before we could go to sleep we needed to get a special bed set up for me. It would be no fun to have to share a bed with either of the guys. Men are not my type. The next morning we left the hotel. Then I started my adventure in the city that never sleeps. I enjoyed traveling on New York's best-kept secret. However, not all of the subway stations were wheelchair accessible. The accessible stations were not always reliable, because sometimes the lifts were broken down or stuck. This meant that we had to catch another subway to a different accessible station, so that we could get back up to street level. I missed a few shows that I was trying to get to, because of problems like this. The 9/11 Memorial staff were very helpful in getting me onto the site. Unfortunately, the actual pools and waterfalls cannot be seen from a wheelchair. Dave and Peter helped me to stand, so that I could see down into the pools. I was surprised that the memorial did not have a viewing platform or another way for people in wheelchairs to see it properly. particularly as some of the 9/11 survivors are wheelchair users.
It's afternoon. Please don't make me work no longer.
Walking over the Brooklyn Bridge was great. From there I was able to see the city from a completely different perspective.
Okay, let's do that.
The Brooklyn Bridge is a little slice of heaven.
If you like, yeah. Now, let's just see if we can get the wheel onto a step. Sorry, Harry, this is going to be bumpy. Now, yep, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we can do it.
Getting into the Orpheum Theater to see Stomp was lots of fun for me, but not for my aides. They had to be strong to lift me and my chair up the steps so that I could get to my spot.
3. There we go.
By the way, the show was great. The top of the rock was really high. It was also wheelchair accessible. I had hoped to see Iron Man in battle with Kong, but I guess that doesn't happen that much. It was great, however, to see the Empire State Building and all the way from Brooklyn to New Jersey. I also had a great view of Central Park. When we needed help to open doors, sometimes friendly people helped us out.
Hands in, mate. Alright.
The battery had died in my communication device. I thought that the NBC Universal store was really awesome.
You want a t-shirt?
But I could use facial gestures to tell Dave what I wanted.
Not one of those. I reckon you're medium, because there's your shoulder, there's your other shoulder. I reckon you're medium. Got one of those?
The Circle Line boat was wheelchair accessible. This was great. While I did not get right up close, it was still really awesome to see the Statue of Liberty. Seeing the lights of the New York City skyline at night was beautiful. While moving through Grand Central Station, I was amazed by the wow factor of the place. Grand Central Station is beautiful. Times Square was the most brightly lit place that I have ever been to. Even in the middle of the night it was like the middle of the day.
No. I want you to look anywhere else but me because I actually want to get that look on your face.
Times Square was the most wowing place that I have been to. While traveling with a school group may have its difficulties, we work together